All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. So yesterday I had to abruptly stop recording. So we received an email from someone about their December performance and regarding I can't get my words together. Okay, so we received an email yesterday from someone about their December performance and regarding a improvement that they made in their performance and a payment, because I do a data analyst and I am currently doing it in sales. So sales reps are compensated. They have commissions and other things that they earn based on performance. So they were questioning, when are they going to get paid for this improvement they made in performance? And when I look at the finalized results that I did for that, I'm like, well, you didn't improve, so you don't get paid out for that. So I did not say those exact words in my email response, but pretty much that was the gist of the email. So they responded saying like, hey, we got this email on January 2nd saying that results were finalized. And I took a screenshot of where my results were that day, and it's different from what you're showing on the report, like the finalized report. Now, I was out of the office during this time frame. I was on like vacation. This was like Christmas, New Year's time. So they sent out an email. I wasn't aware of this email going out, but they sent out an email on January 2nd saying that the results were finalized. What? But why they took it upon themselves to send an email saying results were finalized on January 2nd, knowing good and well that we were not finalizing results until January 19th, is beyond me. I really don't understand. And they sent a screenshot of what's in the email, and it definitely says final reporting update. They sent a screenshot of the email. I think it says your final reporting update, or view your final results. What? These results are not final. So I don't know what we're going to, and I haven't had coffee, like words are not coming to me, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know what we're going to do or what's going to happen, because this is a mess. Like you're messing with people's money. They believe that what they saw in this report on January 2nd. Now, mind you, it has updated since then. But if you got an email notification saying like, this is your final result, why would you go back and check the report again? You took your screenshot. This is where I was. Okay, I made it. I'm going to earn money for improving this performance metric. Why would I go back and look at the report in that person's defense? Why would they? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me why we said, oh, this is your final result, and it's not. And this was during the time where we were having hierarchy issues as well. And then in addition to that, not outside of hierarchy issues or anything like that, with this particular metric, it does not even finalize the second day of the month, like for the prior month. It's not even like what we call final, where we're not expecting any change in activity. It's not even at that point on the second day of the following month. So I don't understand. I don't know what they're going to do. That's where we're at. The person's like, so during the hierarchy change, yeah, their hierarchy changed in the month of January. And they're like, show me all the agents. First of all, I don't have to show you anything. The reporting is correct as it is today. I went and I reran it, and all the numbers for everyone that I finalized on the 19th are exactly the same. And we are on February 2nd. The numbers haven't changed. Whatever the numbers were on, and I still have the report from January 2nd, because this was one of those jobs I had running automated, and it sends me a file every day for everyone's results. So I can see what the result was. Like if they're like, we're going to fix it and make it right to what they saw on January 2nd. Okay, well, y'all need to fix it for everybody then, not just this one person calling it out. But I have the results. Everybody has the results from then, because I set up the job so everybody got emailed the results. But I'm pretty upset about it, because this is a report that I ran. I don't like to mess up people. Like, it's not to say that like we all don't make mistakes. Like I make mistakes, I've made mistakes, but I try to double and triple check my work before finalizing something that is pay impacting for real. Like I don't want to mess up people's paychecks, for one. So I'm like overly cautious in this role, because I don't want to mess up people's money, and this team is new to me, so I don't know how they handle this situation. So I did message my manager about it to let her know, but she was traveling yesterday, and it slipped my mind. I was just so focused on this issue. Like I forgot everything. Like I don't like to mess up results, and this wasn't like necessarily a mess up on my part. It was just, why are you telling, and no one told you I don't even, who told you to tell these people this? Who told you to send out an email and say, oh, here's your all right, but what I'm going to do is try to get everything in place because I believe my manager, she got in late, so she'll probably log on late today too. But I just want to get all my ducks in a row, like have everything together. So I need to go through this code actually, and because they're at, like, if they want me to provide her employee with the details, like I can provide the details that she's asking for, but typically that's not something we provide. Like if it's not in a official report that's been approved, like we just don't pull and extract data from the database and send it to people that aren't in reporting, I'll say. Like we don't just extract data from the database and send it to any old body. That's not how this works. Like there's certain formats and ways that we can show data to people, like employees that are not, like in analytics or reporting or, leaders and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I'm just going to work on going through the code for that. Like I reran the results already the way I have the code, but they're asking for specific details. And I'm just like, I don't think we should be providing that level of detail to you because they're trying to say that they think I'm pulling in January results where the hierarchy changed instead of December results where their hierarchy was different. And that's not the case. Like it clearly, like if someone was in your roll up in the month of December and they're no longer there in January, like we have dates. Everything has a date, like a date field. So I can see everyone that rolled up to you in January are not the same people that rolled up to you in December. So again, you're trying to prove that my report is wrong and it's not wrong. And they're like, well, was the report? Yeah, technically the report on January 2nd was wrong because it wasn't finalized reporting. So yes, technically what you saw on the 2nd was inaccurate because the results had not yet been finalized. But let me get off this rant. Let me get back to work and pulling the data just in case my manager's like, let's just send it to her in a adjusted format some way, somehow. Let me get to that. Just wanted to check in. Sorry for the long rant and ramble, but I'm very upset. Like I take my work seriously, and when I'll log on during my vacation. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I'd rather have logged on during my vacation and review and make sure everything looked right before having to deal with this mess and this fallout. Like, I'm not with it. Okay, you guys, so just wanted to give an update. So I met with my manager about maybe an hour ago and discussed the whole situation that happened with the results and the communication about results being finalized on the 2nd, and she asked that I just do a review and do a comparison. What were the final results? What were the results on January 2nd? What would have been the compensation had we finalized results on January 2nd versus what we actually did, so that she could determine the financial impacts, take that to our director, discuss with him. So I did that comparison for her, sent that data off to her. So I don't know what's going to happen from there, but that's what she wants to do, to take it to them and see if they're going to do additional payouts, pretty much is what I believe. So that's where we're at right now. I'm just going over this other initiative that we're working on, trying to make sure that we're good here with what we're doing. This is for, I don't even know if I ever explained this to you, but this is for, like we pretty much are creating a metric that we want to hold reps. So there's this metric that's out there that's directional, that's very similar to what we're wanting to do, but we have to create this metric because it is going to be slightly different from what was presented. I don't agree with us using this metric to hold reps accountable to it because it is directional and the logic behind it is not 100% there. And okay, you guys, so let's talk about the logic that I'm referring to for this particular metric to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's say that you work for this Austin bike share company and you've been asked to determine how many miles per hour that the riders are, or the subscribers are traveling, like their speed. You've been asked to determine their speed because the company is thinking about charging for any subscriber that goes over a certain speed. Now, if you look at this bike share table or data set, you'll see nowhere do we have speed. Now we have we have information that shows us like their start time, what station they took the bike out from, and we also have the end station where they were, and we also have the duration of minutes. Now, because we also have this other table, this bike share stations table, let me just preview that. You can see that we can kind of show the address. So while we may not have like the miles per hour, like the bikes don't have any, like a speedometer. There's nothing on the bikes that will give us that. There's nothing in the data set that shows how many miles per hour that they're going. But we can see if they went from one bike station to another bike station, we can determine the distance if we go into like the maps, like Google Maps. We can see, okay, how many miles are between that? And then we can also see how many minutes from this table it took them to go from one station to another. Now, the reason that this logic that we may use is not going to be 100% sound is because, one, we have nothing on the actual bike tracking their speed, okay? There's no speedometer. We have nothing in our data set that tells us what speed. We are creating logic to kind of guess what their speed would be by looking at how much time they went from one place, like from point A to point B. We're looking at the duration minutes. And the problem with duration minutes is that you see some people here, they have 6 minutes, you see 24 minutes, you see 87 minutes. Just because it took them that length of time to go from point A to point B doesn't mean they were directly going from point A to point B. They may have gone other places throughout that time, which would extend the amount of time it took them to get there. And also they could have traveled additional mileage. So there's just a lot of factors that we don't know that we kind of have to guess. And that's kind of what we're doing in my scenario at work, if that makes sense. We are guessing, and because of that, I don't believe we should hold customers accountable to that. Or, I'm sorry, I don't believe we should hold our employees accountable to a metric that's not 100% sound in logic. It just like with this situation, it would not be logic that's 100% sound if we are going to charge customers that go over a certain speed, because the logic isn't 100% sound. So let's just prove this out and show you what it would be. Okay, so let's work on building out this logic. I'm going to start by taking a couple of columns like the trip ID, subscriber type, bike information, the start station ID, end station ID, and duration minutes. I think those are the columns I would need. So let's start there. Bike ID. Start station ID. And I'm going to join it to the station data. What I mean by that is like the data isn't like how the data comes from the source. It doesn't give us the level of detail that we need. So we're having to code around that and try to map a I guess I'll say this, like we usually, like if I have data in one table, data in another table, and they have no fields in common, we would use like another table, what we would call like a linking table, to try and link these data points together, because they may both have a field in common with the table in the middle. So we would link it together that way. So that is somewhat what we're doing here. Data in this from this source doesn't match data in this source. So we're having to map it together, but still the logic isn't 100% sound. We're still having to there is still some guesswork in there. We're mapping it as closely as we can to the employee, but again, not 100% sound, but it's the best we can do with the data that we have available and the way that the data is coming from these systems. So that's what we're going with. So we're just finalizing. I'm in the process of reviewing something with my coworker as well, so we can get this finalized, because they do want to go ahead and launch that initiative, I think today. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But that's what I'm working on here. Now, just reviewing to make sure that we have a good understanding of how we're calculating it. Like, I understand the logic that we're using. I'm good with it. I need to make sure everyone else understands how the logic works, so we're not giving out wrong information, and that it's clearly explained, because again, this is a new metric. So we need to make sure we're clearly explaining to employees how this is going to work. So yeah, actually, let me ask. Why did we remove? Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Okay, but I think I'm gonna end it here. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next vlog or work from home video. Bye.